They laughed the moment she raised her hand. Not a cruel laugh at first, more like the tired chuckle of people who had already decided she didn't belong. The kind of laugh that says, "This again," before you even finish speaking. She stood there anyway, boots planted on the concrete floor of the training hangar, heart pounding but spine straight, and said it again, louder this time. "I'm asking for a chance to try." The room was full of uniforms, ranks stitched in neat lines, confidence earned through years of repetition and respect. And then there was her, Lieutenant Mara Hale, newly transferred, slim, quiet, with eyes that seemed to take in everything while giving nothing away. She wasn't supposed to be here. Everyone knew that, or at least, that's what they believed. A captain near the front shook his head, smirking. "This isn't a volunteer fun run, Lieutenant. It's a precision sniper qualification. You miss once, you fail." Someone else added, "We already have the list. You weren't on it." Mara swallowed. She had expected resistance. Mockery too, but not how quickly the room closed in on her, how fast assumptions formed like concrete. She could feel the familiar heat in her chest, the same feeling she'd known her whole life when doors were shut before she ever reached them. "I understand the standards," she said calmly. "I'm asking to attempt them." That was when the laughter grew louder. One sergeant leaned back in his chair. "You? With what background?" Mara hesitated for half a second. Not because she didn't have an answer, but because she knew no answer would satisfy them. Her file was thin. Her record didn't sparkle the way theirs did. She had learned long ago that explanations often sounded like excuses to people who weren't listening. "I'll accept whatever score I earn," she said. Good or bad. That earned her a few raised eyebrows, but no approval. Before anyone could dismiss her outright, the door at the back of the hangar opened. The room shifted instantly. Conversations died mid-sentence. Chairs scraped the floor as people stood straighter. The general had arrived, unannounced, as he often did. Gray-haired, sharp-eyed, and carrying the kind of presence that didn't need to raise its voice to command attention. Major General Thomas Cade scanned the room slowly. "What's going on?" The captain cleared his throat. "Sir, we're finalizing the sniper qualification roster." "And?" the general prompted. The captain gestured vaguely toward Mara. "Lieutenant Hale here wants to try." The general's gaze landed on her. Not dismissive, not amused, just observant. He looked at her the way experienced leaders did, measuring posture, stillness, the way someone holds themselves when they think no one important is watching. "Is she qualified?" he asked. "She doesn't meet the usual profile, sir," the captain said quickly. The general stepped closer. "That's not what I asked." A pause stretched long enough to make the air uncomfortable. "She hasn't been tested," the captain admitted. The general nodded once. "Then test her." There were murmurs now, soft protests, exchanged glances. The general raised a hand and silence returned. "Lieutenant," he said, turning to Mara. "Why do you want to try?" Mara met his eyes. "Because I've trained for this for years, sir. And because I'm tired of being told what I can't do by people who've never watched me try." The general studied her for another moment. Then his eyes dropped to her forearm. Her sleeve had shifted slightly. Just enough. The tattoo wasn't flashy. No skulls. No slogans. Just a small, precise emblem inked in black. A crosshair, simple and clean, with a single mark beneath it. Not decorative. Purposeful. The general's expression changed. Not dramatically, but unmistakably. Recognition flickered there. Not of the tattoo itself, but of what it represented. He looked back up at her. "Where did you earn that?" Mara hesitated. "Off the record, sir." The general's lips twitched almost imperceptibly. "There's no such thing." He turned to the captain. "Set up the range." "But sir, I'll observe." That ended the discussion. The range was quiet in a way that pressed on the ears. The kind of quiet that magnified every breath, every movement. The other candidates watched from behind the safety line as Mara took her position. Some crossed their arms, some shook their heads, a few looked almost curious now, as if waiting for the moment she'd prove them right. Mara ignored them all. She lay prone, body settling into the earth as if she belonged there. Her breathing slowed. The world narrowed, not from nerves, but from familiarity. This was the space where noise faded, where doubt dissolved, where only the target mattered. The first shot rang out. Dead center. Someone coughed awkwardly. The second shot followed, and the third. Each one landed true. The captain frowned, checking the scope. "Wind adjustment," he muttered. Mara adjusted without being told. Another shot. Perfect. The whispers began now. Quiet, uncertain. The laughter from earlier felt very far away. The test grew harder. Longer distances, smaller targets, timed sequences designed to rattle even seasoned marksmen. Through it all, Mara remained steady. Not flashy, not rushed, just precise. When the final shot echoed across the range, the silence afterward was different. Heavy, respectful. The general lowered his binoculars. "Well," he said calmly, "that answers that." The captain cleared his throat again, visibly unsettled. "Sir, we weren't aware." "That's the problem," the general replied. "You weren't aware." He turned to Mara. "You've been training alone." "Yes, sir." "Why?" She exhaled slowly. "Because no one would train with me." The words landed harder than any accusation. The general nodded. "You're on the roster." As the room slowly returned to motion, Mara sat up, heart still pounding, not from the shots, but from the release of something she'd carried for years. She had proven herself, yes. But more than that, she had been seen. Later that evening, as the sun dipped low and the base quieted, the general found her alone near the range, packing away equipment. "That tattoo," he said gently. "It's not common." Mara paused. "No, sir. I've seen it once before," he continued. "On someone who never asked for recognition. Only responsibility." Mara met his gaze. "That's all I've ever wanted." The general studied her for a moment, then nodded. "You'll face resistance," he said. "Even now. Especially now." "I know," she replied. "But remember this," he added. "They mocked you because they couldn't imagine your strength. That says more about their limits than yours." As he walked away, Mara looked down at her forearm. At the mark she'd earned in silence. In isolation. In moments when quitting would have been easier. She realized something then, not with bitterness, but with clarity. She didn't need permission to be capable. She had only needed the courage to ask for a chance, and the resolve to take it when it came. And from that day forward, whenever someone laughed at her ambition or questioned her place, she remembered the sound of silence after her final shot. The kind of silence that follows undeniable truth. Because belief can be delayed. But skill, once revealed, speaks for itself.